So uncivilized.
Greetings and welcome to 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of You Know What It is. It is Uncivilized Scoundrels, and we are here to talk about the final episode, the finale, season finale of You Know What It is, the Acolyte. So we will definitely have that conversation. Our thoughts, our honest thoughts about the season and where it ended up after, where we fall in this. Was it a show that definitely worth watching? That they hit it on all cylinders? Was it a perfect show? We don't know. We're going to actually talk about that and let you know what we actually think and our honest opinions on it. But I definitely can't do this without my brother right here. Vinny's in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
Greetings, salutations. What's up, everybody? How you doing, brother? I'm just hanging in there. Long week, as we were talking backstage. It's been a hot week, a long week. Lots going on, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. But just regular grind, just getting everything I gotta get done, and enjoying what free time I have, and enjoying a little bit of breaking the weather. We had a storm the other night,
bro.
Kind of sapped some of the heat away a little bit, so that helped. But yeah, man, I had a mostly good day, and looking forward to chopping it up about Acolyte. As soon as I got done the episode, I couldn't wait to talk about it. So I was for tonight.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's definitely with all intentions to talk about it tonight because I thought it was an amazing episode.
They finished strong.
Yeah, it was an amazing episode, and I think for a lot of people, because like I said, not everybody's going to feel the same way. We talk about this before, was it a perfect season? No, it wasn't a perfect season. It had certain things that were certain episodes that I felt as though could have been better. I think the writing, was lacking in certain aspects of it. But for overall and all in all, I enjoyed just the mystery of it. Just the who's who, trying to figure out basically how the puzzle would fit. Again, on top of that, knowing that there was a bigger picture. And also a lot of people didn't like the simple fact that it showed that the Jedi were, in a sense, flawed. But I think that was, again, if we go back to the prequels, that was basically George Lucas's intent was to show you that any type of organization, any type of organized organization itself is flawed. There's certain things that they think that they're doing for the better good or of the organization, and it's an institutionalized type of situation. You know what I mean? And I think that was his way of actually showing us that no matter what we think and from our perspectives, it's just like now with municipality. We know that basically there's crooked cops, there's crooked organizations out there regardless, and for people that, not everything is polished. And even when we're looking from the aspect or just the viewpoint of a Sith, certain things that if we view it from a certain point of view, they have pretty much, they were right. Like they're right in a certain aspect when it comes to certain things. You can agree with some of the things that they've actually done, even though it is a bit, over the edge and, it's a bit much. But there's certain things that you might look at and be like, well, you know what? I understand. And they have a point. So again, I love that it showed us a different side, something that was completely different. We got a chance to see it. But the first time we ever actually seen someone bleed a lightsaber in live action. That was fucking phenomenal. But we're gonna definitely talk about that much more. Before we dive in, though, everybody out there, make sure, of course, you hit that like button, like this thing right here tells you to do. Hit subscribe, hit that bell notification, so you're always up to date to what we actually got going on over on the channel. Before we dive in, of course, I got to say what's up to the companies and places where we get these figures from, who make sure that we get what we need and when we need it. I got to give a shout out to my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. Doing an awesome job. I got to also basically make sure I always update that page because he'll be like, man, update that page. I don't have a figure anymore. But definitely awesome job. What we're getting from him is definitely phenomenal, man. Ray, I want to thank you for everything that you have done in the figure collecting community who have been always on point at what you do. No NRD. I mean, there's no NRD, full transparency when it comes to shipping and handling, which is reasonable. Make sure you sign up for that newsletter so you are always up to date when your figure is going to be released or when there's a new figure coming. I'm telling you, it is worth it. You head on over there, you tell Ray I sent you, and he'll definitely take care of you. So definitely shout out to my guy, Ray, over there at Underground Figures. Also, I have to give a super duper shout out to the other Ray, tell the two Rays, my man Ray over there at Hawkwards Toys. Again, not only do you get the figure that you're looking for, you get a sticker, comic book to boot. Ray keeps you laced. Always. He is the proud sponsor currently right now. Summer Madness going on over there at the Figure Flex Friday Facebook group. So make sure that you are joining because he'll definitely take care of you. That is my guy all day, every day. Again, he has a lot of grill pieces. I like that. I got to go over here and also with my man Ray, make sure I update so you know what's there. If you were looking for those pieces that you can't find, you see him here. He got them, so there's no excuse. Go over there. Hit him up. He'll take care of you. You should tell him that I sent you over there. He got you. Also want to give a shout out to my man Watcher Sixth over there. My man Jake over at Comic Relief Comic Collectibles. Not only do you get the comics you're looking for, 1/10 scale, 1/12 scale, quarter scale, anything that you're looking for, he got it for you. He'll definitely take care of you. So head on over there and you tell him that's your boy sent you. Definitely an incredible guy. Such a good guy. Cool cat. So definitely want to give him a shout out. And then also last but definitely not least, I want to give a shout out to my man Brian Wong over there at Modu Space, Modu Case. If you are looking for an incredible display, that mono right there is incredible. You got like all the other display options that you actually have, especially if you want something incredible, he'll definitely take care of you. So I want to give him a shout out as well. So definitely let's go in real quick and say what's up to the chat while we actually have them in here with us. Who we got in here? We got my man Evangeline. We got Blue Tattoo in the building. What's going on with you? Blue is in the building. Thank you for being here. Evangeline is in the building. Thank you for being here as always. We got Charlie the Unicorn in the building. Thank you for being here, bro. We got my baby Latoya T's in the building. Thank you for being here. We got Zinzan's in the building. Thank you for being here. And we got the amazing AJ Agrusa. Hi, everyone. I'll have to catch everyone on the replay, but I had a good time with the show. Wasn't perfect. I have no clue what the tracker was up to. Me neither. We're going to talk about that, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. So thank you for being here. We got my man Cliff in the building. Thank you for being here, bro. Tijuana Mike is in the building. Thank you for being here. Ren's talented one in the building. He said hello. Congrats, Leo, on the 6K. Thank you so much, man. Definitely got the 6K. On our way, still on our way to 10. Well, we looking for 10K. And on up 100K, we're gonna get there as well. But definitely thank you for being here, bro. Thank you for your support. Thank everybody out there for their constant support and being in the zeitgeist of this space and making sure that this show gets to where it needs to be, because that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, and everybody for just kind of sliding through. As always, man, enjoy having everybody here. My man King Tro, what's going on with you? Tijuana Mike, my guy, thank you for being here as well. Yeah, man. So yeah, bro. Like again, I thought that, like we talked about, I thought that for what it was worth and what they introduced, bro, the fucking I want to talk about this again because I can't. The fucking choreography, bro. The fight scene between Soul and fucking Chimera, bro. Bruh. I mean, yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, it was, I thought it was beautifully, choreographed. We know that, what she was going for and what Leslie Headlam said she was actually going for was, something to rival, Phantom Menace, but also she was going for the Matrix, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type of feel as well. And I definitely think that she achieved that, bro. Like the choreography in this episode was freaking phenomenal. I thought it was definitely on point. The Chimera Soul fight was definitely on point. Yeah, I think they definitely did such a great job on it. Again, now I know for a fact, everybody's going to be talking about the reveal. You know what I mean? And we're going to get there in just a moment because I have my thoughts on that. But overall, I thought it was definitely a fun episode. and definitely worth watching. Vinny, what were your thoughts on this episode, man?
Yeah, it was a great, you know, finale. I feel like there was a lot that they had to wrap up, and somehow, um, we get a lot of shows where it's like, how are we going to put a pin on this with so many open ends, and how they can close this out. And despite all the issues that this show had, one thing it figured out was it did a great finale that basically wrapped everything up that it needed to answer with this episode, and then left you wanting more in a non-cheap way. Like, it
Yeah,
didn't leave you waiting for the reveal of what was going on with this story. It just, the cliffhanger was a new story, which is
yeah,
what we all were hoping for. Because I didn't want to wait another season to find out the resolution to this story. I
yeah,
wanted it to, if they were going to do another one, for it to branch off. Um,
yeah,
the choreography was on point. The thing I wanted most from this episode, I got my Khmer and Soul fight. I got to see a resolution of what's up with the girls. I got to see, um, we got to see new things, and in a way that makes sense for the time that they were in. Because whenever you do a prequel, you have that issue of like, all right, how much new stuff can we do without explaining why we hadn't seen that before in the future? So
yeah,
that was tough too, and they hit the home run on those fronts. It had this season had its issues. I feel like there was a lot of things that I didn't like, but the things that I did like were
yeah,
enough for me to latch on to it, and I just focused on the strengths of the show.
yeah,
Kamir was fire. I loved every time he was on screen. He stole the show to me.
yeah, yeah,
And Soul, my man, did a phenomenal job in that role.
yeah,
And it's like what we all thought. Like, he had to go to further the explanation of why the council doesn't know about all the shit that went down. And then
yeah,
you also have, the head there. It was like, it made sense from a storytelling aspect of, cover up, keep this on the
yeah,
low. We don't need everybody to be worried about, people who could do what we can do being out there.
yeah,
And I love the senator, with the foreshadowing of, hey, look, yo, what happens if one of y'all go bad, man? Like, I don't trust y'all.
yeah,
It
yeah,
reminded
yeah,
me, yo, it reminded me of Lex with the fucking Superman. Like, yo, I don't hate you, but yo, we can't stop you if you decide not to play ball with us. So
yeah,
fuck you,
yeah,
get out of here.
yeah,
So that was the type of time he was on, and I understood.
yeah,
But I also like that it wasn't black and white. It was very ambiguous, because there's plenty of moments where, yes, the Jedi stuck their nose and shit where they didn't belong, but the witches were aggressive, and there's in that moment, there's reasons for the things that happen. That it's one of those, well, put yourself in other people's shoes. You can see
yeah,
why maybe this happened and why maybe that happened. I love the final conversation with Osha and Saul. Think about we throw this word all around all the time in Star Wars, but the hubris of Saul not to just simply say, I'm sorry. She
yeah,
didn't need she didn't need your cop explanation of why you had to shoot the person who drew on the
yeah,
police officer. She needed to hear, "I'm sorry, your mom is gone. I'm sorry, I'm
yeah,
sorry." That's all
yeah,
she needed to hear. And we got to see the first force choke and an explanation of killing without a weapon that made a lot more sense than a fucking kunai.
yeah.
You know
That
what I
that
mean? Like,
definitely did, bro.
it made a lot more sense. So obviously the Plagueis reveal was pretty cool, if not a
Yeah,
little weird, because, oh man, why are you like chilling in the cave like Voldemort? But we still got Plagueis, and that's fire, and I can't wait to
yeah,
see what they do with him in the future. And throwing
yeah,
Plagueis in this is obviously a great bridge, because so many people have wanted to see Plagueis in canon and live action and brought in for years and years, and this is a gateway for that. And these prequel shows that take place way before is a great olive branch for legend stories that we want to see.
yeah,
And so there's a lot of things that they did with this episode that I really dug. There's a lot of choreography. Even simple stuff like the lightsabers crackling when they were up against each other. There was sound effect editing that I'd never heard before in
Yeah.
previous Star Wars fights. That was great. There was lightsaber breaking, bleeding. There was all kinds of new, basically, mechanics of Star Wars
Yeah.
that we hadn't never seen before. So there was a lot of cool stuff. There was still fucking Gus the Groundhog in this. Every time he's on screen, it's just like, all right, come on, man. Like, it reminded me, like, in the prequels when Maul was fighting the Jedi and then it cut to the Gungans. It's like, I don't want to see the Gungans right now, man. I don't want to see this gopher go away. Like, it's not really even clear what the fuck he wanted, what his point was, why he was there. Like, he just was a buzzkill to me every time he was on. So hopefully, like Jar Jar and Attack of the Clones is used far more sparingly in the season 2, if one's made. So that will be a big question. I'm sure we'll talk about at the end of this recap of going forward. What the hell did they do with this divisiveness of the show? Because there's much more story to tell.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we are going to get into. Is it validated and worth a season 2? That's what I do want to talk about, because there's so many things that are and doors that are open, that we need to have that conversation about, because again, you've opened these doors. Now you've made us curious. We're very inquisitive. We want to know. So we need to have those answers. Before we get into that, though, we got the one and only. Come on, man. Mario, you had my ass laughing my ass off last night when you said that Maul looked like a damn shampoo bottle, bro. I was laughing my ass off, bro. That shit was so fucking funny.
Nah,
bro.
that was from Mafia. Actually pulled that out, so he's kind of stole from him. But yeah, dude,
that shit was
that was
fucking funny, bro. It was hilarious, bro. But definitely thank you for being here, brother. As always, what's going on with you, man?
Lunch here, dude. Thursday night, and yeah, Vinny, that was a hell of a breakdown, man. Trying to wonder if you watched the same episode, bro.
Definitely, bro. Yeah, man. I think so overall, like, and you saw the episode too, before we kind of go deep into the breakdown, what did you think as far as the episode? Do you think it was a strong closing to a season that was already divisive, or do you think that there was still some, because I think it was definitely a dope closure, but I think that there were still a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of things that I didn't understand. Like, understand with him saying that that basically they were created out of aversions in the Force, and it was manipulated by mother Coro and all them. But I'm trying to really understand, again, how far that manipulation went, and if they are the one and the same. Again, there's just things that have to be explained. And then, like I said, we're seeing, based on what I've actually read from the High Republic and what we know about Vanessa Rowe, she is very uncharacteristic in this show, and it must be with age. Maybe there are certain things traumatically that we haven't seen. But there's a lot. There was definitely a lot that it didn't really, I don't know. I want to see more to see how it is, but I know a lot of people don't feel the same way. What did you feel about the ending, the conclusion, and where do you fall with it?
I think they closed it up all right. I mean, dude, to be honest, I could go without a season 2, to be honest. This is one of those shows where it really didn't. It was a little bit all over the place as far as like the character development. The consistency was lacking, in my opinion. So it just makes me a little bit more thinking, like, why that last episode that we saw, the penultimate with the flashback. I think there's a lot more. They could have done something else that would give us more answers to some of the questions that we have, or take that time to develop some of the characters a little bit more. Because for me, I don't see how Osha can just suddenly just go dark. You know, I see slow progress, but I mean, it's not. It just seems like her turn to the dark side was just like way too fast.
Yeah,
just on pure emotion alone, and we understand, emotions is what drive the Sith, of course.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't really consistent to her character. From the way that I actually saw it. May was all over the place, switching her her mode is going back and forth. You know, first she was cool, then all of a sudden she's all completely different as far as like wanting to kill, and surrendering herself to the Jedi and what. I mean, anyway, but
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens when you're created by the Force. You're real
emotion.
Yeah, that's a side effect.
Is that yeah, we said it with Anakin too, right? You know, it's
yeah,
all,
flip floppy.
What's that Disney movie that came out? The one with all the emotions on it from Pixar. What was that one?
Oh,
it was. I know what you're talking about.
So it's like that. It's like that basically.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're created from the Force. You're just to run amok with emotions, right? So, but Vinny, to your point regarding Plagueis, I will say it was cool to see him, but I just think it was completely unnecessary. I mean, if you just see him in the background and that's it.
Yeah, Kamir had
all it's doing is just raising questions.
Insurance.
It's like why?
Yeah,
I felt like it didn't belong. It was a little bit forced, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Kamir had this cool float down entrance for his, and then fucked up a whole bunch of people. Plagueis was like, "Hey guys."
Yeah.
It was really I mean, he was there, so that was dope. But it was,
for what? What purpose did it serve, though? You know what I mean? So to me, it was unnecessary. I didn't think he needed to be there. For somebody with such a high profile character like that, like Darth Plagueis, I think it would have been more epic to introduce him in a more in either earlier in that season to where he actually has an actual role, and then versus something that's completely rolless. He's just there in the background, just lurking. Like
it reminded me of like Voldemort in Harry Potter, where like he's like half dead and just feeding off of unicorns in the woods, and has to hide out till he has his strength back. Like, why are you just chilling in the cave now instead of just fuck y'all? What I'm here with my boy Kamir. This is, giving you the cribs tour of the place. I'm not sure why you had to hide in the cave.
I think if we would have saw him like more involved, we would have seen him with Kamir earlier. Like so we know that he's there. He's established.
Yeah.
I
get they wanted it as the finale reveal. I get that they wanted that. But it would have been great seeing Kamir go into the cave and seeing him in some throne room or something and being like, all right, I got her, master. Like, what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. Is he his master? That's the thing. And then is he the whole rule of two things should be in effect right there. And if that's the case, then why is Kamir actually recruiting Osha for? If there's already two, so who's gonna take who out, for the rule?
And that was my what I was thinking, and when I saw it, because I was let me kind of watch this back and forth, because I felt as though what we got from that episode and what we saw was again, they keep naming it unknown, like they keep saying it's the unknown planet, but of course a lot of people know that it's Baldemnik. You know what I mean? Because that's basically where they mine the cortosis. You saw the cortosis vein. It's another part. It has to be another, actual section about Baldemnik, because we know that Baldemnik in the books was, uninhabited. It was a planet that basically, because of its, because of its, I guess it had like a poisonous atmosphere that both Plagueis and, Tenebrith wore like a containment suit. They were actually in a suit, that kept them, or actually it gave them oxygen. It kept them away from like the poison itself. But again, we know that planet that they're on, that they're calling unknown, has to be Baldemnik. And my guess is, again, what we're seeing is the possibility of what happened after Plagueis, again, impaled Tenebrith. And now he's basically looking for what he would basically deem as an apprentice. He sees two here, that inhabited this planet that came. So again, I don't think they're going to change the continuity, because this would be something that they've added to it. We just have to know why he's basically stalking this out, or if in fact maybe he does know Kamir. Maybe basically he's just using Kamir to get information. And I say that because especially when Soul was telling Osha, or May. It was May when he was telling May about where she came from and how she was created, he saw the look on Chimere's face as if like, wow, interesting. And I think that basically they're probably trying to spin this as if Plagueis, adopted the manipulation of the Force and the midichlorians from those witches, and he just perfected it. So I don't know if that's where they're going to basically go with it, but it is something that you got to kind of piece together for yourself. It is a bit of a reach. I don't know where it's going, but I wish they would have probably, to be quite honest, I would have preferred them to wait until the very end when you basically saw both like Chimera and Osha standing on a cliff, their back turned, then pan in and you see Plagueis in the background. Don't give us Plagueis in the middle of the show and then not expand on it, because it didn't really right there. And then we're like, well, what the fuck is going on with that? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, why not wait? You know what I mean? It would have made more sense to me. You know what I mean? But again, there were a lot of continuity issues. But not continuity issues, but it was just a lot of issues with the writing, holes in the writing. And like you said, like May's turn to the dark side was a bit quick. It was definitely a bit quick. You know what I mean? Like,
rushing out of nowhere.
Yeah, Osha's turn, like it was, and then on top of that, now you have May, who was mind wiped, who's obviously, again, like it seems like they're following the lore of Knights of the Old Republic with, what we actually got from
I didn't understand why.
Hey, spoilers, bro. I haven't played that yet.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
It's only been 30 years, but
you haven't played it yet. What did you say, Vinny?
No.
I didn't even understand why she needed to be mind wiped. Because, that'd be like right now, someone mind wipe me to forget who y'all are, so that way I can never know you guys right now. And then like, all right, now it's done. Y'all are right there. I'm like, hi. Her sister, how are you gonna mind wipe so you forget your sister while your sister's in the room? As soon as she got done wiping her sister, she was like, hey, you look just like me. What?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And here's the I want to say this. I do want to say this, and I think that this is, and I get what you're saying, Darth Negative, but just hear me out here. Anakin was he was the result of the Force itself fighting back against Plagueis, fighting back against the manipulation in the Force of what he was trying to basically do. So when he was trying to manipulate the midichlorians to do all these certain things to create, the Force fought back and created Anakin, and Anakin was the chosen one. So we know that these twins, again, they were basically manipulated and created by virgins. One basically they're not twins. One was basically created and then split. They split the personality between two. So that's what they're saying happened on this planet. So I don't think it's intentionally taking away from Anakin being the chosen one, because we know that he is the one.
I've never heard that Anakin is the chosen one because the Force created him. So I don't see the correlation there. That, like, I thought Anakin was the chosen one because of a prophecy. It never says that the chosen one is a Force created being. So someone else being a Force created being like negates that. I always felt like he was the chosen one because of that's what the prophecy was or whatever. And for all we know, like he's still I still believe that doesn't negate him being the chosen one, because for all we know, Plagueis is there to get information about May and Osha and the virgins creating it, and then that's how Palpatine gets that information from Plagueis, because he finds out what they did, and then he does it in a way that is more scientifical instead of magical, and does it for Shmi. So I guess he was on a track to be able to do that as as a scientific thing that he'd be able to replicate, as opposed to a spell that witches that he would need witches for. So I don't know how this would negate him being the chosen one.
And it doesn't. I think it doesn't. And I think basically they needed to really explain that, and I think they did, because again, the planet was a virgins. It was the witches that were manipulating. They basically manipulated that virgins to create the split between both two person, like one basically, and that's why they basically came up with that whole slogan between them both. but they're one and the same. You know what I mean? It's just a simple fact that they're, and again, he revealed you're not twins. You're both the same. You're one person. It's just that you're sharing the essence between two. You know what I mean? Whereas Anakin is a direct response of the Force fighting back and creating its, again, that balance. He was the balance, and that's what they always talk about. The balance, the one to bring balance. So
wasn't the Virgins actually in in regards to the prophecy itself of the chosen one? Because that's what Qui-Gon said in the Phantom Menace. When he told the Council, he says, "I've experienced a virgin to the Force," and then May says, "A virgin to the Force." You mean the prophecy of the chosen one? And then that's when he starts talking about Anakin. Right. So doesn't that alone, wouldn't that kind of throw that off?
Well, he said basically it was a prop. He said basically he's discovered the virgins in the Force. Now the virgins itself is what again is creating, and is in the virgins itself was in
surrounded
Anakin,
around the person
was surrounded around the actual person itself. So again, it was surrounded by him, but again, a direct response. Whereas the virgins didn't create these twins. It was the manipulation of those witches to create these twins. If you understand what I'm saying. So basically the intent of the Force wasn't to create these individuals. The witches manipulated that. They found a way to basically do it. The virgins of the Force on that planet is what created life, like the atmosphere, the trees and stuff like that, which again, they haven't fully given us the answers. That's the problem. Like they really haven't given us concrete answers as to how this was done every time. And I hate the one thing I hated. What'd you say?
We'll get some fucking comic that explains it all way
better.
That's
more than what? Most definitely. I think that's definitely what we're going to get. That's definitely what we're going to get. And I think the comics are going to try, but I hate it. That's the one thing I hated. It was the simple fact that every time he wanted to explain what happened, he gets cut off, or he gets stunned, or get fucking pushed or stung. I'm like, how many fucking times do we got to see that? If you would have explained it 2 episodes ago, we would have already had that plot. We didn't have to wait to the end to get that, bro. Yeah. That's the only thing I felt like, why did you have to wait? Because you're just squeezing so many things into one episode that you could have stretched out over a couple of episodes. We could have did without that fucking flashback last episode, to be quite honest. We didn't need that shit. You could have told us that right after the last episode, like right after the episode, was it episode 3 or 4 or episode 3, whatever. You could have told this shit after that. But we go through all of this bullshit for what? That's the only thing that I really, really hated, is that they didn't. They tried. Now here's the thing. I don't know if it was, and Leslie Headlam did, and I think that again, like a lot of motherfuckers are blaming her, but we know now that her originally and her intentions was not to basically do an Acolyte show. She wanted to do a Asajj Ventress spinoff, but Disney said no. They wanted her to do this. So again, she might have had certain ideas, what was at the constraint of what they basically wanted, which hence we've been saying this for the longest fucking time. These fucking execs need to get the fuck out of the way, bro. Get the fuck out of the way, because you are literally you're causing these motherfuckers to create and write shows that are so fucking divisive, divided. And it's just a lot of divisiveness that you're painting targets on their back. I'm pretty sure if you gave the creatives more time to create, then they could give us something that was quality based on the lore. Because the thing is, Leslie Headlam is very intelligent. She knows a lot about the lore, but it's just a simple fact that you can't do certain things when motherfuckers won't let you. Oh no, we don't think that. Oh no, come on, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, give them space to tell the story, and we wouldn't have all this bullshit. They need to move. Like, they really need to fucking move. And that's really so. But I'm hoping, here's the thing, bro. I'm in between, because I definitely want, here's what I say. Yes, I want a season 2, but then again, I don't. And the reason why I say then again, I don't, it's not because I don't think that they could possibly try to pull it off. It's because I'm tired of the complaining, bro. The complaining of this particular season just took me completely out of everything. That's the only reason why I don't want to relive this again, because this show alone, pretty much, in my opinion, and was pretty much the worst experience when it came to fans and fan opinions and shit like that. It was the worst. And here's the thing, bro. Look, people are entitled. We want you to have those opinions, and I love that. I love it, but it was all the other shit that got thrown in there that was kind of just really exhausting. And I just don't want to relive that space. You know what I mean? Now I just want you to move on from it, tell a good story. And maybe, again, like you said, Vinny, they can tell these stories in like animated series, or they can tell these stories in like books, and we can kind of get the gist of where they're going after that. And maybe introduce some of these characters later down the road. But if you're going to tell the story of Plagueis, I don't want you to fuck it up. Literally, I don't don't fuck it up. Don't. So you're introducing Plagueis in the show, which people are going to have that itch and they're going to want to see more. But just don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I definitely enjoyed the fight sequences. I love the fucking fight sequences. I love the simple fact that we finally got a chance to see, a Jedi bled. I mean, a saber bled on camera. Mm-hmm. I love that, bro.
Crystal, the kyber crystal. Yeah.
The kyber crystal was bled on camera. I love that, bro. I was all in on that. I was like, yo, that's dope as fuck. That is dope. I love it. But again, the whole and like you said, bro, fucking, what was that fucking? What was the fucking beaver, bro? What was that? What was it, bro? Like what was the
nightmare fuel,
purpose?
bro? That's what that was.
What the fucking? What was the purpose?
The worst, bro. It's fucking worst.
Like what the fuck was the purpose to have?
Yo, and here's the thing.
Bro?
All right, so Saul was trying to help this girl. You wanted to work with her, and then when he locked on, was he trying to shoot her down? Because I don't know if he was trying to. I don't know. Was he trying to shoot her down? Because I can't think of like. All right, so I'm chasing this chick through an asteroid field. We're about to die, and you kill the power on my ship. I'm fucking you up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, bro.
And then he just kind of like wandered off and laughed like a fucking I don't know, like it was a horror, like a funny horror movie or something. And Saul was just like, oh Gus, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he does that. Yeah. It just went and landed. It was man, it was bad. That was the worst. That was the worst.
Yeah, it just to me. Hold on.
Yeah, no more Gus, man.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. It having that. I don't know if they just wanted, for a marketing purpose or basically have just like a cute little whatever. But bro,
also, like, what was your intent? What was his intention there? Why was he trying to save someone who he attacked earlier when he found out that it was May, not really Ocean? Like, you attacked her earlier to try to warn, before he even got a chance to warn Soul. It just made no sense. I have no idea what his motivation was, what the fuck he was doing half the show. He was just like a rogue agent. He was just causing chaos. He was like, I don't know. It was just horrible.
Yeah, bro. Like it just again,
why was he helping her?
Because it was crazy, because you knew who the person was at first. You attack her, but then you want to stop him from either using a tractor beam to get her in, or I don't know, disable the ship.
I don't think he was trying to shoot her down, but even if he was, why would you stop her? Like, that was the villain. Like, you were chasing the villain before he got to go do some more villain shit. What are you doing?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like this tracker, is that whole aspect of it. I was like, yo, it took me completely out. Of that. I loved the Senate scene. I love the conversation between Vanestra and the Senate. I keep forgetting his fucking name, man. Like, I love that scene because it was the dynamic between both. And even when he said, like, you don't like me because of my whatever, he's like, good, well, let me tell you, you know what I mean, like how he went in. He was just like, I give no fucks. I don't like you guys because you manipulate power, you use it for your own intentions. We don't know what the fuck is going to happen. yeah, like you need to be put in check, you know, and definitely like, can you disagree with him based on how they've actually their interpretation so far? Can you disagree with him saying that you need to be held accountable for everything? Like, because number one, he knows that she's lying. She knows that she's hiding certain things. And on top of that, if you're lying about this, if there's power that's roaming around through the galaxy unchecked and you're lying about it, like it is going to cause for a level of suspicion. You know what I mean? So I definitely did love the conversation that they both had. And I hope we see him more. But I don't know. Like, what did you think about it, Mario?
Unfortunately, this is one of those parts that I was completely taken out. I really didn't follow the conversation much often, but I did see that he was. I was this episode just took me in and out, man. Like I said, it really didn't grab me, you know. But so what was it? He was just like mistrusting of her, just believing that she could be like a ticking time bomb or something like that. Or
what it was, it's because she, you know, he found out and knew, you know, that, you know, they were scouting out to basically find out, you know, again, there was disruption, and on top of that, a group of Jedi were definitely murdered. She basically, Vanestra told him everything. You know, she let him know, you know, but basically she operated out of the jurisdiction, you know, of the Senate. You know, basically it was an isolated situation unless it was something that really begged a response, which it did, but she's just not letting on. And then on top of that, you're blaming Soul. Like, you put all the blame on him to say he was a rogue Jedi that went crazy and killed everybody. You know, they killed basically the other Padawans without telling him that it was your former Padawan who caused the fucking mess. Yeah. That's the shit that I didn't. Okay, listen. Maybe you're doing it because the thing is, you don't even know. Mind you, he's not a Sith, bro. And I think that they're basically just projecting or protecting the interest of the Jedi because they don't want the Senate to look at the Jedi as just a bunch of irresponsible individuals that aren't checked. So they wanted it to be more of an isolated event, so they're blaming it on Soul. But if you're blaming it on Soul, that's even more cause for the Senate to say, well, look, if this is happening in your own Jedi ranks, how can we trust you?
Yeah.
What do you think, Benny?
That was a really big conundrum there, because you're saying, nah, don't worry, there's nothing to worry about. Ain't no Sith. It was one of us. But wait, if it was one of you, then how are we gonna? And it was a big. It was heavy on we've investigated ourselves and found ourselves guilty of no wrongdoing. We took care of it. It's just, and at this point, they hadn't taken care of it. They were just like, we're on it. Like, we'll figure it out. And then they didn't even do. It was clearly like they lied. She lied the whole way to everybody she could lie to. She lied to her own people. She lied to the Senate. Mm-hmm. She's at the end of the show, she's about to lie to Yoda.
Yeah,
like exactly. She lied to everybody. And then I don't know. It's like you went there with a kill squad to make sure that no one who knew what really happened there, you know, got away. And here's the thing: you want to make sure that Saul is dead, so no one can tie a Sith-like, you know, villain back to you. But you're not that eager to kill Khmer. Like, why is that should be her number one goal, making sure that no one ties him back to her. You would think, which makes me think that it's, you know, clearly like a reveal of her being evil is to come, because her only goal was stopping Soul, not Khmer. Didn't give a fuck about what he was up to. Yeah, didn't care at all.
And the thing is, she knew that it was him. She knew he was there. She got a glimpse. She was connected to him, so she knew. But didn't tell the council and didn't tell any of the ones that she was with, which again, and which brings me back. And Pedro Lopez, thank you for reminding me. The show's point was to show, and again, they did a very fucking good job of showing how flawed the Jedi. I think that is the aspect of the show that they got perfect, is showing how fucking flawed the Jedi really were.
But that is where you have this fine line of where the Jedi flawed or stupid, because there's a lot of blurred lines here because they do a lot of dumb shit and then they kind of disguise it as, oh well,
Yeah.
no one's perfect. But now they do a lot of dumb shit. Like she told my man, hey, like go round up some Jedi, but like inconspicuously, like don't not enough for anyone to notice. And then like they come out that shit like a fucking clown car. Like why is there 20? Why is it no one misses? No one noticed 20 y'all just got on a ship and went to go somewhere. Like she said, low key. Now which is funny because obviously we're watching this show with scores of Jedi shows under our belts, and we'll always see them rolling just like the Sith in twos. And now on this show, they rolling like the Fellowship with at least 9 at a time or more. They came out there with at least 20 of them. Clearly, like probably all of them green like cadets who've never even seen a fight, and it's just odd. It's just I believe that's something that if they do more of this, they kind of tighten up. Like maybe Yoda says, all right, man, the way we're doing shit is reckless and we can't just keep getting away with it. We have to make sure, because it just seems like, all right, she's solely in charge. Like there doesn't seem like there's no Jedi Council, right? So maybe Yoda says like, all right, we got to start having like a round table or like elders group or something to kind of make decisions so that way we don't have all this shit going on. Because I feel like that's what's going to happen. Yoda's going to figure out she's lying and say, look, we got to tighten this ship up because this can't happen again. And I feel like that might lead us to where we are in the prequels, where obviously she is still fucked up there, but it does seem like there was more of a system than there is on this show. It's a lot of rogue activity going on this show. Soul's doing whatever he wants. Vanessa's doing whatever she wants. It was a big deal that Anakin didn't listen to authority. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal that anyone any Jedi on this show is
on this high council. It's not. And the thing is, again, the biggest thing is, and like was said, is they are basically roaming around unchecked. Soul basically thought, and instead of basically saying, May, I am sorry for what I basically did. Osha, I'm sorry for what I did. No, what I did was right. What I did as a Jedi was right because I felt as though you were in harm's way without letting them decide. Now, Vanestra, again, we know that May's mind was wiped, and now Vanestra is almost damn near lying to her again. So you're feeding her more lies and you're manipulating her to get what you want because you're trying to get to her master. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel more sorry for these fucking girls because they are being manipulated on both fucking sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
on both sides.
And she manipulated her. She wiped her mind for her own gains. Like,
yeah,
not even going to be able to get any information out of somebody you wipe. It's like, it's wild the way that she was such a villain, and it's kind of like glossed over. I mean, she wiped May's mind so that way none of the shit that could happen could come back.
Well, no, Chimera wiped her mind.
Chimera wiped her mind. My fault.
Yeah, Chimera basically wiped her mind. But again, we already know that Vanestra knows that. Yes. She knows that this girl wiped, her mind was wiped. So what do you do now? Now it's the process of reprogramming. Now I'm going to reprogram your mind. Now I'm going to feed you what I think you should know to get what I need, to get where I need to be. Because we need to keep the shit under wraps. Yeah.
When Saul wanted to take Osha and Homegirl started turning into the smoke monster and Osha started vanishing, or was that May that started vanishing? That the point was to make it just one of the girls that were left, because that still was. I was hoping that this episode explained that part some, because if they were two but the same person, what was the point?
Because they were split. Their essence is split between the two. And I mean,
what was the point of like separating her while she was?
Because I think basically what she was trying to do was protect. She was trying to protect. In a sense, she was moving May away from the situation because she knew that Osha wanted to go. But she also knew that Mother Coral had fed her all this bullshit. You know what I mean? So she, again, like she said, I was going to let her go. So she was just probably trying to move her out the way in order to give Soul a way to get to Osha, and get her out of there at that particular point. Yeah. But it just, that last episode, bro, which should have tied things up in a nice little bow so we can get on to the next, really still left us with more answers. Now, they did say, Leslie Headlam said that with Mother Coral, she is still alive, no body, no death. And we're going to, and basically because of her background and who she is, might explain where she's going to end up, which is almost possibly saying that she's going to end up with the Night Sisters. So we have to basically see how that's going to basically flesh itself out. If it does, you know what I mean? I don't know. And the big part is, and here's the thing, bro, when we got to this part, I want to pull this up here at the end, when we see Vanessa Rowe going to speak with Yoda. Now, what the fuck are you going to tell this, tell Yoda? What are you going to tell him? Now, he's the Grandmaster. What are you going to basically tell him at that point? What are you going to basically convey to him? Is she going to lie? Is she going to ask him for help? Or is she going to tell him the truth?
Yeah.
Because if she tells him the truth, then that also basically makes him a conspirator. Like he's basically also somebody that was part of it as well, that knew about this shit all these years and kept it away from the Jedi and didn't say shit. So I'm just wondering what she's going to basically say to him.
Right.
And if he probably already knows she's fucking lying. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd imagine that. I don't know. It's tough because, first of all, what was he doing? Was he away on another mission? How did he not know what was going on anyway? How did he not sense all this drama from wherever he was? Maybe he's just getting back and he's like, all right, yo, what the fuck? I'm coming home to a house fire. Like, what is going on here? I'm hoping that that I think what would be really cool is if she does try to lie and Yoda sees through it and banishes her. And then that would tie up that loose end of someone who knew about the Sith being in the Jedi Order. So that might also explain how now, and because there wouldn't necessarily be a reason after kicking her out for him to be like, all right, they're Sith, because technically Khmer isn't a Sith, maybe. So it could just be like dirty cop as opposed to an actual villain. So, all right, you're abusing your power. You got to go. That don't make you a Sith by abusing your power, but you got to go. And then that could be, if they lay low and aren't, still fucking with the Jedi, that could, because all this has to lead back to, it's just like the Kenobi fights and on that show with Vader. Like, they have to finish it in a way where their encounter in A New Hope makes sense. Like, they have to be careful how to bridge that gap. So they have to be careful how they bridge this here in a way that doesn't leave, Yoda looking bad by not checking anyone when they say, hey, this has been the same for 1,000 years, and Yoda not being like, I don't remember 100 years ago. What, did you forget?
Yeah, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, because we now know that Yoda was there. We know that Ki-Adi-Mundi was part of it as well. But again, he might be elsewhere. Now the one thing that is checking the box is that they still don't know the existence right now of a Sith.
Right.
All we know that basically is she'll probably tell him is that one of my former Padawans is going rogue and he's basically a dark Jedi now with his own intentions. She has no idea right now, currently any idea of the existence of Plagueis.
Yes.
Sith are very good at masking their identity, and we know that. Jedi are extremely clouded when it comes to those that aspect of it. So I don't know. It just really depends. And I think, when we're talking about Yoda, being able to, because Yoda is extremely connected to the Force. He feels the Force. He knows what his surrounding is. But we got to also remember this is the High Republic version of Yoda. Now, he hasn't basically experienced everything he experienced in Rebels yet. You know what I mean? His ascension in Rebels and where he went to then. I mean, not Rebels, but Clone Wars. So again, like, we're getting the High Republic version. We don't know what he knows and what he's actually connected to. What aspect of the Force is he, really, really used to? We don't necessarily know yet right now. So I don't know. It just depends on what she's going to tell them and where we're going to go with this. But I'm just hoping. I'm hoping. But here's the thing. Right now, we just don't know if we're going to get a season 2. We don't. We really don't. And I think based off of viewership, but also basically off of just everything else that's going on, I think it's possibly highly unlikely. But again, Disney may surprise us and go ahead and give it a go ahead because they want to kind of sew up this story. They could actually say, we'll give you a season 2 and that'd be it. What you think, Vinny?
We're getting to season 2.
You think so?
Yep. Because a lot of these things, you gotta think, like, we're in the geek bubble. Like, we hear so much of what's positive and what's negative, but we're not. One of the things I notice is, like, there's a lot of people who aren't like us, who don't give a shit about, who don't care as much, who watch. And a lot of times shows like this are for those people more than us. And all the divisiveness and all the drama that this show has caused on fucking Star Wars message boards, there may be a lot of people at home who just watched it anyways, and it might have good numbers, and that might be good enough for Disney. Also, like we talked about with Marvel shit, Disney right now is on their own type of time. If they feel strongly about a project, they're gonna put it out despite the potential backlash. Yeah. Like, it's just like with a lot of shit that Marvel has done lately, Disney is much in the same boat. Like, if they feel, this show might ruffle conservative feathers or progressive feathers, whatever, like, they're just gonna do what they feel like they want to do. Even if I feel like if they spent $180 million on this show, which is insane because there's not, to me, a lot of explanation and justification for that. So just that in and of itself might explain why there might be a season 2, because they might want to recoup some of that set money, that budget, because whenever you have a show or a movie with a really high budget, a lot of times a sequel is part of the game plan. Like, okay, we'll spend 200 million, 300 million on this movie because we can use all these sets in the next one and save some money on that one. So that might, there's all these kind of like financial and economical reasons that they might do another show that has nothing to do with the shit that we think about when we think about should they do another show. It might be popular.
Usually when there's a season 2 ready to go, they'll actually announce it at the end of season 1, right? A lot of times you'll see that. If they have intentions of extending the series, I think we would have heard about it by now.
With Star Wars? Bro, it took... No, come on. They did it with
Mando, dude.
But they did do it with Mando, but they didn't do it with Ahsoka. We didn't find that shit out until like months later.
Are we getting a season 2 for Ahsoka?
Yeah.
That's been confirmed?
That's been confirmed. He's already writing.
Hearing that. Yeah.
He's basically writing and working on that right now. That's why basically he's doing that before he does his film. So he's working on season 2 of Ahsoka before we actually get the film. That was already confirmed.
I thought they were just going to wrap it up in the movie and that was it.
He's doing season 2 of Ahsoka and then he's doing the movie.
Let's see this.
Yeah,
let me fact check this.
Fact check it, bro. He's because he did a couple interviews on it and everything. He has the writing. He's writing Ahsoka, but he already has the direction of where he wants to go with the film. But it's all going to be based on this one. Yeah, that's already been confirmed.
Yeah, bro. I would be very surprised if there's not a season
2. Yeah. I think it's potential enough for it. But
I get the reasons for the hesitation. It was very exhausting. Season. And part of me is like, all right, cool. This one's over. Hopefully, the next one has a lot more unity with the Star Wars fan base. So it's not so much. All like, did you see it? Fuck that shit. Like, all right, good damn. All right, you know what I mean? Like, it gets annoying. I get it, but I think that Disney don't always just think about us. They think about if they're making money from people who don't care about if there's a plot hole with a Jedi's aged or he should be alive. Then, like, there's a lot of people who don't have any fucking clue about the books and all that shit like that, or even the cartoons, and they're just watching it because it's Star Wars and it's something on. I think that because of that reason they might.
This is true. This is definitely true, man. If they, I'm hoping they do. I mean, I would hope they do so we can at least tie some things up. I would say this. I would say if they give us a season 2, maybe. I think because a lot of the writing came from who? Was it Leslie Headlam that actually wrote this as well? I think that they should give the writing duties to somebody else. More experience and advanced in that. She can direct it possibly, but not the writing. We need more experienced writers, bro. For it.
I also wish they would have had some balls, and instead of worrying about being brave and bold with diversity only, also be brave and bold and tell a story about the villain. Like that was something that I really thought when they first announced the show was going to be the point, telling a story, having the balls to tell a villain story from a villain perspective, and they really didn't. I mean, it was a big cop out.
Right? It wasn't. That's. Mario, when we were talking about this show, what we were talking about, the perspective of the Sith.
We've always wanted to see that.
That's what we wanted to fucking see, the perspective of the fucking Sith.
So like you told a show that had Sith that's kind of like, main characters, but they weren't the main character, and then you made Jedi look bad. So like it was like you did a lot of gray area shit, so I get it. You made the Jedi, put them in a bad light, and they were shining on the Sith and their motivations and stuff. But this wasn't a Sith perspective storytelling movie. I mean, TV show at all. No. And that's kind of like when they pitched it, when they wrote it out, that was what they kind of alluded to. And I don't see Joker worked. Fucking Infinity War is practically a Thanos movie, and that's one of the best fucking superhero movies ever made. You could do a film that's based around and it doesn't even it didn't have to be like an existing Sith. Like if this show had been straight up about Khmer, like once you start seeing him fight, I've been with it. I'm interested. If every episode was about what he went through to get where he's at and him fighting the Jedi and stuff, I'd have been right there. I was enjoying everything every time he was on the show, but it's a shame. I would have liked to see them actually have the balls to do a villain show. Like,
I think go ahead, Ben. I think this is something that can be like wrapped up in the comics. To be honest, as much as like some of us may want a season 2, I think if they're going to explore some of the more of the story, I think it's something they can easily do in a comic.
Yeah, they can. There's a lot of like holes that they can actually fill. Even bro, like to be quite honest, even going the route of animation.
Yeah,
if you go the route of animation, you can do like a live, like a
Tales of the Sith. You can expand upon that too.
Yeah, bro, definitely like that. Like you can definitely expand upon it, and I think it would make sense if you did something.
Tales of the Witch.
Tales of the Witch, right? You can do some shit like that, bro. It doesn't matter.
Tales of the few and the many, right?
Yeah,
Tales of the many.
But I think that
don't put that out there, bro. Don't, man.
I think that basically you should save a show. The only thing is I think the aspect of where they fucked up now, because they begged the level of curiosity now, is that you've introduced Plagueis. And motherfuckers love Plagueis, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Motherfuckers love Plagueis. So now people want to see a live action version of Plagueis now. They want to know more about that character and where he's going to go. So now that you've introduced that character, what can we do with it now? You know what I mean? Where can we go? Because if you're going to do another season, you have to tell it from the interpretation of a Sith and a Sith only.
Absolutely.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it be the Sith. We want to know basically. I would want to basically know an entire show. Look, keep it in the realm of Khmer and Osha and fucking I just said his fucking name. I just said his fucking name, bro. Did I just forget it that damn quick? Plagueis. Keep it in the realm of fucking Plagueis, bro. And that particular realm of the Sith.
Keep it Sith-centric.
Keep it Sith-centric.
because obviously with that, him being CG, they're not going to have him as the main kid, but tell the story through Khmer's eyes and have him check in with Plagueis every here and there, and then show what's going on new with Osha. That would be, good enough. I don't need to see making this show. We got
you had, exactly
Jedi shows.
You had the opportunity to do that shit with Khmer because Khmer is a tortured soul. He's left the Jedi Order for a specific reason. And you know what I mean? If we, again, there's a lot about him that we want to know and his story of why he left the Jedi, why he chose the path. We, at the end of it, motherfuckers were more interested in that than they were Osha and May because it wasn't written well for those characters. All we wanted to know was, okay, what's going on with Khmer? If he's basically labeled a Sith, who's the other Sith? Because that's what we wanted to know the entire fucking season, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? They did a good job with the transition on episode 5. They should have rolled that fucking wave. And they didn't.
As soon as he was on the screen, I was like, all right, it's his show now.
Yeah. It was his show.
Basically.
He fucking killed it, bro. Now, I want to know more about him. Because Manny DeCinco killed that fucking character, bro. He gave it the right element. Him and Soul were basically holding this show up together. They were.
Because obviously that could lead to eventually, because if Khmer is Plagueis' apprentice, then at some point he has to go so that Palpatine can be. Now, if that's because of old age, because it's way down the line, or Palpatine is older than we thought, and he takes Khmer out, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, but I'd like to find out.
Yeah. I would, you know what? The show should start if they were to do a season 2, I would want that fucking season to start. Bam. Start with fucking Plagueis in that damn tunnel or in that damn cave. Start with him. Start with the scene where he peeked out, goes back in, and we discovered that was the same fucking cave where he impaled fucking Tenebrae. And then he's having a conversation with Tenebrae, letting him know that you're gone now. I have my own agenda and whatever. Start with that and then have him spawn. I would start with that as the opening of season 2. Get people fucking hungry. You've already done it. I'm sorry, and I don't want to say this, but people don't give 2 fucks about Vanessa Roll right now, bro. They don't. They really, really don't, because the way you see the Jedi and the way they were written, we know they're flawed, but they're flawed for a reason because it's the interpretation and the vantage point that we see from the Sith. And also, we just see them making fucking mistakes. Now, just give us something purely. Stop. Disney needs to get out of their own fucking way. Like you said, Vinny, if they done it, if we were able to do that with the Joker, if we were able to do that with Infinity War with fucking Thanos, the bad guy wanted the end. Yeah. Disney, you can do some shit like that.
Yep.
You can definitely
make it interesting. Because you know what? How interesting is it if the bad guys are so easy to kill and beat all the time? To me, Khmer should have beat Saul one of the times. At least the first encounter, Saul should have won the encounter in the finale. Khmer should have beat him the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That's how storytelling usually goes. The bad guy wins the early fight, the good guy trains, or whatever, gets his lick back at the end. That's how it's usually supposed to go. And Vanessa, that's not a focal point for me of interest going forward. I mean, they made a big deal about her having the Ivy whip saber and shit. All she did with that was kill a bug or whatever, but I don't really care. I care more about Khmer and Plagueis and all that shit's going on over there. I don't care about what's going on over here.
Yeah. I definitely, all in all, bro, like I think the season, again, like I said, it had high points, but it definitely had a lot of low points. And the only reason why, as much as I would love to see a second season, also, I'm afraid to see a second season because, bro, this season was fucking exhausting. The conversations were exhausting, bro. People were hating each other. I've never seen this much hatred since.
Yeah.
Since when? Since when?
They're hating each other now. Damn, dude. So the dark side, wow.
Bro, right?
They expanded upon the fandom rather than the
The fandom menace.
Yeah,
Bro,
That's
exactly.
what it was.
fandom
It was the,
fucking menace.
the fandom menace.
The hate was amongst the fandom like no
Yeah.
other, bro. Like so we actually got a Sith show. We got a Sith show in the form of fans, bro.
Yep.
We definitely got a chance to see that because the hatred
Made them
ran
powerful.
wild. Yeah,
Gives them
bro.
focus.
It gave him his focus like a
Shit.
motherfucker, bro. But that's
Power of
what-
many.
yeah. It was a power mini, bro. But damn, yeah, bro. Like the dark side definitely needs. I don't know. Hopefully, what they need to do basically is with the same slow down and just write something good.
Yeah.
Slow down and write something good. Slow down, understand your fan base, understand the checks and balances of what could be and what shouldn't be. You know what I mean? You can tell your story. You can tell the story that you want to tell, but you just can't fuck this shit up.
You know what was news to me tonight? I did not know that she originally what she had wanted to do was massage. That to me sounds a lot like when Sam Raimi wanted to do the Vulture with Spider-Man 3, and they were like, "Nah, we want you to do Venom." And he was like, "I don't want to do Venom. Do Venom. All right, fuck it. Fuck this movie. Now I'm gonna just put a bunch of dumb shit in here and fuck y'all. And then I'm dipping and taking everybody with me." If she wanted to do a massage, they should have gave this to somebody else and waited till y'all were ready to do a massage to give that to her.
Creatives, bro. Creatives need to get the fuck out the way, bro. Stay the fuck out the way. Like literally, the execs stay. I mean, not the creators, but execs. Execs need to stay the fuck out of the way. You hire these people for a fucking reason. Let them work. Let the creators create and get the fuck out the way, bro. Simply, like it's a no-brainer situation. And if you haven't learned by now, you're going to keep running into these situations. You're still going to have a divisive community. You're going to still basically have this hate bashing back and forth, all this shit, painting targets on actors and all that. Just tell a fucking good, solid story, bro.
Yep.
That's all I really got to say. Anyway, that's it, man. That's what I want to talk about. All everything in a nutshell was the show. For me, it had its high points and low points. Was it perfect? No, not by any means. What rating would I get it? I would actually give it literally like a 6.5 out of 10.
On the whole, or you mean the finale?
Well, on a whole, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think that's a solid way because I think there were certain things that hindered. Even though, like I said, the action sequences, the landscape was beautiful. You know, we did have some important actors. You know, I mean, again, like we had, again, Manny DeCinco, the guy who plays Soul. The one thing I hated is what they fucking did with Carrie Ann Moss. She should have had a bigger part. She should have had a bigger fucking part. She didn't. So I hated that. But it is what it is. But all in all,
made no sense.
Yeah. My rating for it would be definitely a 6.5 out of 10. That's where I kind of sit. And I think that's generous. I think it's just being as generous as possible. It's not too bad. It's not the greatest. It's right there in between, bro. That's where I'm at. What about you, Vinny?
If I had to rate on the whole show, I'd probably give it more of a 5.5. I feel
That's generous. That's generous.
You know what I mean? Because I looked at it as average. It had a lot of problems and it had some really cool stuff that I will take with me from it. So I don't think it was like a waste. I don't think I was like, I wish I didn't even watch this. I think there was a lot of cool stuff that I took from it. I really did dig Khmer and his fights. I love that he got to actually kill on the show. I didn't think that, they would kill the people that he did kill. So that was cool. And I loved Saul's character and acting in that. And I really dug that they, told some lore from earlier time. They just fumbled a lot trying to get their story across. But yeah, the negatives, not to dwell on them, we know what a lot of them were, but I think the strengths of the show make it at least average for me.
Yeah, that's definitely true, man. That's definitely fair. Profi, what you give it, bro?
Oh man, there was some cool shit in there too, man. But I think it was just
Yeah.
again with the writing that was just I think
Yeah.
I'm with Toya. I'll probably go a little bit lower to be honest. I'm thinking
Do
four. I'm thinking
you
four,
give it the
four and a
power
half,
two?
bro. I'm gonna. Nah, I think on the whole, man, just because of what really bothered me was the lack of character development, and the inconsistency of a lot of these characters.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
along with the writing as well. I'm going with a 4. I'm going with a 4, man.
That's cool, bro. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. I mean, again, like I said, we got to be honest with it, bro. And
Yeah.
what the only thing that etched me up to a 6.5 again was I loved a lot of the fight scenes. You know, I did love
That show was
Manny
cool.
DeCinco's character. I love
Yeah.
Manny DeCinco's character, bro. I love Chimere. I love fucking Chimere, bro. I think his turn was fucking dope. You know what I mean? I love everything about it, you know, in that aspect of it. I love Soul's conviction, even though it got kind of annoying at some point. But everything else, it just kind of, they just, there was too many holes and gaping holes in it. But yeah, that's why I'm giving it a generous 6.5. And yeah, all in all, like I said, we hope for the best, man. It's, I think, right, like, and what was said, you know, definitely, you know, the writing, you know, they need to get back to formula when it comes to writing, man. Get back to formula. Marvel is basically learning that by, would you say, Mario?
No, I was gonna say, do you guys actually see where the budget went? 180 million on this?
No,
Where?
I don't. Where did fucking $180 million go? I think that was basically had to be spread between actors, bro. Because I don't understand where that fucking budget went. Like, where did it go? I mean, there were some sequences that were dope. Don't get me wrong. Some, like, you know, with the landscapes, with the space, but that certain things were okay, but not still worth $180 million, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's what didn't make sense.
But like after Carrie-Anne Moss, he was on screen for like 8 minutes.
Yeah,
he was the highest profile actor on the show. Like nobody like really A-lister. So I don't know, man. That's tough because we've seen how many fan films that looked a lot better. I mean, that's tough, man. That's 180 million.
He said the Jedi robes.
You know what? Maybe if they didn't have like 80 fucking Jedi coming for every mission, maybe they could have cut down some of the budget. That's a lot of fucking money for a TV show. That's crazy.
Yeah, you see the money with Mandalorian. It's about the same budget. Yo, wow. Like what
was the budget for the Mandalorian? Do we know?
I don't even know. I think it was up there. It was pretty up there too. But you see the budget in that show.
It makes sense. They're in space all the time. They only I mean the asteroid belt, the rings is, you know, Saturn type fight what they were going through. Yeah, that, bro. You know, I could see some of the budget there, but yeah, there was
the rescue will go down as far as Disney Plus shows is one of the best episodes of a show I've ever seen. The rescue of season 2 with Luke.
Yes.
Perfect.
Nothing tops that.
Nothing tops it right now, bro.
Mando season 1 was 120 million.
120 million, yeah.
Kenobi was 90 million.
So crazy.
Kenobi was 90.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that felt
and think about how many different, like, I don't think I've ever watched a Mandalorian episode where it felt cheap. I mean,
nah, bro.
They stretched that 120.
They definitely stretched that, bro.
Sure.
It didn't feel cheap at all. Episodes, I mean, seasons 1 and 2.
I mean, when they were looking for the Wookiee Kanaka, I felt like they were like walking through a museum, like a set. It really did feel like they just got a bunch of fake flowers and put them around.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
But then there was, you know, some scenes that were, you know, better, but not $180 million better. So I don't know.
Nah. And I know that they said that they were going for like more practical sets.
Yeah.
So I know that, but
maybe it was Gus. That's who took all the fucking budget.
Maybe. Bro, that's the one aspect I never want to fucking see again. I never want to see that character again. If they put that character in season 2, I'm checked out. Fuck that. I never want to see that again, bro.
They're gonna put him on the Senate in season 2.
It was one of the dumbest fucking bro. Come on, no. I don't care what you're trying to do for merchandising. Nope, that doesn't work. He's not Grogu at all.
Watch the Hot Toys drop tonight.
They better not.
Better not.
They better not, bro. They better not. If they drop that, fuck that, bro. Hell no. Fuck that. And motherfuckers use the bag on the Ewoks. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at this shit.
I mean, he did have a role as a tracker, but that was it. But
nah.
Anyway,
yeah, Gus the Bus is taking a passenger. You already know. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. Everybody out there, it was such a great show. I definitely enjoyed it, man. Profi, what you got going on, man? What you got? Y'all got LWO tomorrow night?
Yeah, LWO tomorrow over on Big Brother's channel. We're hanging out with Joao, so we'll be out there. After that, not much going on, man. I'm over here just pull out a bunch of figures from storage. This is actually pulled out Deadpool, so I'm excited for the damn movie, man. So I had to pull this out.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Bro. Oh, that's is that Deadpool 2?
Deadpool 2, yeah.
Fucking figure. I love that fucking figure, bro. Oh,
yeah, man. Still holds up. Still holds up, man.
Nice ass pose, too. I see you, Mario.
You like that? You like that? Hey, man. I do all right. I do all right. I do all right.
I see you.
You know.
I do this. I do this.
Yeah, I do this shit.
Yeah.
I do this for real.
Hey.
I do this.
I love playing with my dolls, bro. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, I put a bunch of Iron Man figures, man. Still need to work on the display behind me. It's all gonna be right there. You know, so hopefully in the near future, y'all see the collection back up.
You gonna put the
We're gonna
cases,
do another
the
collection tour. Yep.
Word.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
Good.
Garage shelves with the statues. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go. Because I'm missing it, bro. Like I'm like missing the whole
I know,
setup,
right?
bro.
Yeah,
like,
it takes time. It takes time, bro.
That's gonna be
But,
dope. I cannot wait, bro. Anyway, definitely make sure y'all head on there to El Profesoro on YouTube as well as Instagram. Make sure you follow LWO tomorrow night on Joel's channel. Make sure you get over there and support, man. Definitely thank you for being here, brother. As always. Vinny, what's going on with you, bro?
I'm looking forward to a break this weekend. I got one of the biggest jobs of the year out of the way earlier in the week. So in a drought, so I have a little bit of free time. So I'm trying to catch up on some reading and some organizing. So I'm just working on that. Hopefully to back in the lab and start working on some new pieces soon. As always, you'll be able to find all the new stuff, IG and in my store at Vincent Dunn Art. And then other than that, I'll be just start prepping for my next show. That's at the end of August. So I got plenty of time to get some cool pieces together from that. And otherwise, we'll be back on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday.
We definitely got some shit to talk about.
I'm sure we'll be talking about some. Yeah. I'm sure we'll be talking about a lot on that show. There's a lot coming up with SDCC, and then there's new actual comic news with new DC lineup. So there's a lot to dive into. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we got Deadpool next week too, which is should be interesting.
Next
So
Thursday.
So a lot going on. So as always, looking forward to diving into it, and
I'm gonna get that motherfucking popcorn bucket. They better give me that popcorn bucket too, bro.
Good luck with that, man. I heard there's shortages.
There is. We don't ever get them shits up here, bro. We didn't get that they didn't get the Doom popcorn bucket here, bro. At all. Yeah, we don't get that shit here, bro. It depends on where you go, but we don't get that shit.
Yeah, real quick, you guys mentioned SDCC. I will be out there next week. I'll be out there Friday and Saturday. Hopefully, if any of you guys on the chat will be out there, man. Look forward to see you guys.
Nice.
You
guys see me, say hi. We'll be out there with some of the fellas out there. SDCC, man, putting it down.
Yo, guess who else I think is going to be out there with you, bro? Cam. You might see Cam out there.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think Cam's
okay.
out there,
all
bro.
right.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. That should be
good times.
It'd be super fucking fun, bro. So definitely can. I don't, Mario. How the fuck with the lottery and shit going on? How do you get in, bro? Like, how do you get that shit?
As far as
what
do you mean?
SDCC, because they said that shit's like hard as fuck to get half the damn time.
No, you have to be basically registered like ahead of time. So as soon as you're in the first time, then you can constantly keep going.
Like
keep rolling.
Like New York Comic Con.
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, some people are catching on with the volunteer train. I don't know what Calvin's doing. Signed up to volunteer, and then that's how he's been getting in for free.
Oh,
Pretty much. Yep.
Signed to
he's
volunteer.
volunteering again this year.
Volunteering again this year. Yeah, exactly, man.
So he's gonna be out there just walking around doing shit.
Oh yeah. Last year, I mean, he signed in, put in his time for like what, about an hour, and then let him go for the rest of the day. They can just hang out.
That's
So,
that's fucking dope.
Freaking Cal, dude.
Volunteer like a motherfucker, bro. Like
volunteer to tell bitches opinion.
Yep. There you go. Hey, Leo, but first, real quick, congrats on 5K, man. On your way to 6, I see you. I see you. Dude, you probably get press credentials now, man. You know, so I think you'll be all right.
I wish, I hope, bro. Like, I'll definitely
put it in. You'll never know. Just apply for press pass and see what happens.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it for Star Wars Celebration to see if so we already got the fucking tickets for it, bro.
Tickets, though, yeah.
Even if I could get like press pass and shit like that, I might definitely do that, bro. Because again, like we don't, you know what? We get so fucking, S Beam said almost 7. Where are we at?
Yeah, really?
What's this?
I heard that the shorts are blowing up for everyone, man.
Yeah, bro. 6. Yeah, it says 692. So we might actually get there, bro. Yeah. Definitely, bro. It's moving. It is definitely moving, bro. Like I'm
gonna start shooting this shit. This is your figure if you like. This is your figure if you like. Come on,
do that shit, bro. Do that shit, bro. Fucking, it fucking works. But again, bro, like if I can get there, if we can definitely get to that point, to get press passes and shit like that, bro, that would be amazing, bro. Because again, like we got the shows to do it, like especially like, bro, if they bring Star Wars Celebrations back here, which I probably think they will after Japan, if they bring it back here, bro, I'm gonna try. I think we should try.
Definitely.
I think we should try because I think we can get it. I think we would be able to get it for the Uncivilized because we're doing a Star Wars show. If we register and say this is what we do, why not?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm ready to do it. Let's definitely go, bro. I'm on board with that. I'm ready. Anyway,
Beam got an extra 600 subs out that damn shorts, man.
What is that?
The Beam scored himself 600 subs.
That's what I'm saying. Do that
bro.
shit. If it works, bro. As long as it's lit. And if it's figure focus, which my shit is figure focus, I'm not just doing any old type. It's all figure focus. And the thing is, they say people's attention span towards short form is more than long form. Yeah. So they like short form shit. So that's how that
TikTok generation.
That's how it works, bro. That's just how it works. They like the short form shit. That's where your attention is. You might just go in on it, start showing pictures of your figures and shit, post some shits up, do what you got to do, let it go. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. What we got? Yeah, tomorrow is Figure Flex Friday, so we'll definitely be doing that. Summer Madness is still on. Thanks to my man Ray. We got Collectors Lounge International, and full rotation. Comic book talk with friends next week. Say what? Don't know. Well, yeah, Uncivilized. We ain't doing that shit next week because we're gonna be at the movies. So we definitely ain't doing that shit next week. And you got Comic-Con next week too? Hell no.
Comic-Con next week. Yep.
Ain't shit going down. Nope, it ain't going down. So definitely we will be back when there's more to talk about. But definitely thank you for this episode. We will see you back here next time when we got some shit going. We got again, I think after this in November, we definitely have the Skeleton Crew. So we got the Skeleton Crew next up. But if there's more Star Wars news, you definitely know we will be here to talk about it. So definitely thank you guys for being here. But until next time, always stay
the power of one.
Power two. The power of many.
There you go. Let's go. End it.
Let's go.
So uncivilized.